From Central Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 Tonight.
And good evening to you. Thanks for joining us here on Fox 59 Tonight. Thanks for downloading our new Fox 59 Smart TV app on your Roku, Fire TV, and on your Apple TV. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of the conversations that we have every night at 8 o'clock as we talk about everything happening from the White House to your house. And on today's show, we have an opportunity to talk about what could be your house in the future, thanks to Indy Habitat, also known as Habitat for Humanity of the greater Indianapolis area. We know that they've done great work making a difference in the community, and that mission still continues. They're up to something new on the, I guess you'd consider that the near northeast side of Indianapolis. You will soon see some new development. The first time that they've done a full-scale neighborhood development in Marion County in 25 years. That's the Devon Creek neighborhood. Right now, it's grass and it's land, but it's also the future home for a number of people in Indianapolis. To explain exactly what they are up to these days, Jim Morris is in our studio. He is the CEO of Indy Habitat. Jim, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for what you guys do. You guys are hard at work with a new project, and I want to hear the details on it because it sounds like this particular land was just something that you stumbled upon and said, opportunity.
Yeah, stumbled or drove by on two wheels.
Uh-huh.
It was really how it ended up happening. I was on a bike ride, and this happened to be an area where I was riding the bike and saw this land. I had seen it before and had wondered why a vacant property of this scale was still available in the Washington Township area. And we checked in on it after that ride and understood that it was currently owned and originally projected to become a church and develop a church, but we inquired of the owner. This was back in 2020, pre-COVID. Yes,
an interesting time indeed. And so, fast forward now 5 years, and you are now planning to put 10 homes on this land.
Yes, we are excited to be able to bring 10 homes and ultimately for 10 families, 10 households to actually create a small community together.
So for folks who don't know, explain what Habitat for Humanity overall is and some of the things you guys have done in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so we've been around for 38 years in the region, and we've provided over 866 homes during that time.
Wow.
And by provided, that simply means that we're coming alongside those who want to purchase their first home. And we walk alongside them to provide home buyer education since this is their first, and also provide the opportunity for them to build alongside the volunteers. We often emphasize that in our mission, it talks about bringing people together. And that's the heartbeat of who we are. So the community response comes alongside and volunteers to help build the home with the buyer. And then they get their first mortgage, and we too, which oftentimes is unknown, are the mortgage company. And we're the one that provide an affordable mortgage, and our mortgage is at 0% interest to be able to provide that opportunity for those who might not be able to go to the market, for example, based on a variety of things, whether it's their income or the opportunity just hasn't been there for them to be able to purchase their first home.
So and that was the other thing I was going to ask you. So we always see that you guys are helping to build these homes. That's the part we always see on TV and we see the pictures. But that doesn't necessarily mean you've physically built 800 plus homes. Sometimes, as you said, it's coming alongside to help with that mortgage. You've put that many families in a home.
That's correct. And those 866 are homes that we've either built or rehabbed along with the buyer. Wow. So that's a part of what that goes into this to be able to, it's a way to bring the neighbors to come alongside their neighbors, even if they don't live, right next door. They are helping their fellow Hoosiers that way.
So, this is something that takes a lot of volunteers. And so we'll talk about that. But how do you determine who's going to get into these homes. You drove by and you saw this land. What happens between now and 5 years ago? What happens now to where it's like, okay, we're ready to start breaking ground? How do you find the people to put there?
Yeah, great question. Just before that question is, how do you get, you get the land ready and understand how many homes you can get into that space that fit within the requirements necessary. So 10 was the right number. And so now we move to, okay, if it's 10, how do we secure 10 families, 10 households that want to purchase in that specific area? And we start with that part where I talked about those who can't go to the market necessarily, either restricted by their income level and the rising prices that have hit us, particularly post-COVID, to where in our region, you're running anywhere from median price of $250 to $450, depending on where you are across the region. And so somebody who is, say, single head of household and is making, $65,000 or less in their job isn't able to purchase at the market based on current interest rate, the interest rates, their situation isn't able because they're not able to afford now where sales prices have gone.
But of course, they qualify for a more expensive apartment to rent, but they can't get a mortgage that's cheaper.
That's right. And so the rents have gone up. You hit it right on the head in terms of both sales prices, rent has gone up. So there's a lot of cost burdened households. Purchasing through us allows them to both bring in that ability to have a little more cash flow so that they can build their quality of life in the method they want to, whatever they aspire to. This really gives them that opportunity to have the stability of the home, be in a community, something to call their own, and they can afford it. And whatever their family structure is, they can pour back into the family.
So, first of all, for people hearing, wait a minute, we've got some land development going on. Are the 10 homes that you're going to build already spoken for?
They're not, but we do have a process in which applicants come in, they get approved. They start in what is called Habitat University, and that's a 20-week home buying education program that they get to focus on. And we do that to really provide them all that we can pass on so they can be successful long term. And so anything from budgeting, understanding the finances of the home, to just how to take care of the home, the fact that it is their first home, how to take care of that first home. We talk about wills and trusts and all the things to help them be successful. And then they move into selecting areas that they had put down as areas of regionally where they want to live. So if they're in Marion County, they might select east, north, west, south. And those who have selected this kind of region for whatever reason, school system that they're already in, family, job, proximity, for example. And so we have those who've already been approved and those who will be coming into the program that would likely select these homes in the future, very near future.
So Habitat for Humanity can be found all across the country. And when we talk about home availability and the price of getting a home and rent prices, I keep hearing when we're reporting in the news that there is a home shortage and apartment shortage as well in Indianapolis. How are we comparing across the country as you meet with your fellow other chapters of Habitat for Humanity? How are we comparing to everybody else?
It's a great question. I think it really tracks relative to where you are in the country market-wise. So, for example, if you're in California or you're there on the East Coast, prices are already very high there. And so our affiliations that work in that space have been dealing with high prices, and how do they come alongside those to purchase their first opportunity at ownership. Could be the South, for example. The Midwest tends to be a little more affordable relative to those coasts, right? And some of the South. And then you look at our particular area and you say, well, have incomes even and prices here, have they kept pace with each other?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're comparing across the country, yes, we may look more affordable, but for our residents here who are experiencing the market here locally,
Mm-hmm.
prices have gone up substantially since COVID. So they're experiencing the real-time price increases here,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to afford a home here has
Mm-hmm.
become more challenging and less approachable than it has been definitely 5-6 years ago, particularly pre-COVID.
So if folks want to hearing you and they're like, okay, I hear what he's saying, and that's what I'm going through right now. I'd like to figure out if I qualify. What's the first step on that side?
We say our website is a great source to start exploring, and we want to connect with you if that's a space that you feel like you're in. And we would love to understand and connect and communicate some of the things that are available to you on the website. We actually have a wonderful video that's about 30 minutes long that explains the full program, gives you a fantastic comprehensive idea of what it entails, and then allows you to start the process. And that's where we want to connect with you relationally. We want to understand everyone's situation is a little different,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to connect where you are and help walk alongside you in that space. So that's usually the first most encouraging way to get started. Some of the things we learned out of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we want to make available the information, but we want to make it available for you when you want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
This video allows you to watch it at any time.
Okay.
If you work evenings, you can watch it after you get home from work. If you need to see it in the morning. So it's really accessible that way. And then we're accessible. After you've watched that and you have questions, then you can reach out to us and understand and go deeper into the application process.
Well, and so we're on the website right now, and of course, once you're at Indy Habitat, indyhabitat.org,
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
it is. You can click. There's right there, become a homeowner, and you can find out, of course, who we are. But you click the become a homeowner page, and this is where you're saying that you would start. There's some information of where to go and even how to apply.
Yep. We try to make it as simple as possible to make that connection. Purchasing a home is the largest purchase anyone will make in terms of sometimes the complexity. So it can seem a little overwhelming, and we want to make it much more approachable by connecting with you.
And then, so just some of the basic things you talked about right there. Number one, watch the 30-minute session video. And then you'll have to do an application online and submit a $100 application fee per person, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then the team will contact you, conduct a home visit. And then there's the approval process, and addresses are selected. So is that where then you're trying to figure out, okay, where do we belong? Where
would you prefer to live? We can't always guarantee. Land is expensive and hard to obtain. Part of the reason Devon Creek is becoming what it is, its land is becoming much more difficult for us to acquire. And so this is a way for us to acquire a little smaller tract of land and put more homes into a community than is usually available to us. So this is an approach that we see as a part of our future to balance out the ability to provide more homes as homes are, and that gap of affordability is ever widening. So we want that individual, that household to connect that way. And it's a way in which, you mentioned the $100, the home visit. That's just, we're going to look at all things credit, similar to how you would think a bank might, but we're the side in which we're not looking at as many details at the same rate as the market would, because we're trying to connect with you as that first-time buyer. And then we're relational. That's a heavy emphasis of who we are. So we want to get to know you. You're going to spend time with us, and you're going to walk, and we want to make sure that you're prepared. So that initial home visit is just that. It's just to build a relationship, connect with you, and help you in that initial part of getting connected to us.
Well, let's talk about the Devon Creek area. I've got a map here to show everybody exactly where we're talking about. So this is Fall Creek Parkway, 46th Street, and Millersville Road. For those of you who like, exactly where is that? Okay, let's think Keystone and Fall Creek and Benford Boulevard, all that in that area right up there. You make that turn on 46th Street. And this area here in the center of your screen is where these 10 homes will be built right next on the same side of the street as the Devon Country Club, right?
Yeah, just south of there.
So one, you look at this area, how do you figure out we can fit 10 homes in here? I'm just curious.
Yeah, we work closely with the city of Indianapolis, who is very supportive in trying to make this work.
Mhm.
The name of the community is the fact that Devon Creek runs right behind us.
Mhm.
And so there's a wonderful tree line that will retain there. So it'll have a nice appeal from that aspect. And then you just try to fit within the confines of what makes sense
Mhm.
based on what the city was asking us to do and how to gain access both safely and to provide the best situation for the community. So that's where we kind of came together, worked, in concert with the city in that way, and that's how you kind of end up with the 10 homes.
And you said this was originally zoned to be a church.
Yeah.
And it just never happened.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, and when we talked to the owner, they didn't share exactly why, but we thought, well, what better way to move from being a house of God to now we're going to house 10 households, right? So this is a great use of the land and a way to provide. It's never been built upon, so that's another good. There's, as you were mentioning, where it is, it's very accessible to many different assets, whether it be, grocery stores, there's, healthcare right nearby, access to some of the main arteries for access to work and jobs. So that it made it much more an attractive place for future home buyers.
Jim, is it getting harder to do this kind of work just in the times that we're living in? We're going to see more and more people who, I don't think we've ever seen less people need assistance, but the way we're going, there are going to be more people who are looking for ways to get help. And is it getting harder to provide that? Because I asked because I had some different organizations who were in here. And this is where you have to educate me. I don't understand how, I don't know how Indy Habitat and Habitat for Humanity is funded, but the dollars from everywhere, philanthropy dollars, federal government dollars, all of these different sources of financial funding seem to be having to stretch more and more. Is that the same case for you guys?
Yeah, we are blessed with the fact that we have a diverse revenue that we can rely upon, and it starts with like in the case of Devon Creek here, the NCAA and Allegiant, a company that's a sponsor, are big investors into this particular development area. And so that's us inviting the community and them responding to the need. And both have stepped up in a big way. So part of our work is to connect the donors to their passion of seeing individuals and families stable. And home ownership is a key way that we've done that in the U.S. for a long time. So they're investing that way. So donors are somebody we lean on tremendously. We do get federal funds. We don't get a large percentage of our budget from federal funds. So the uncertainty that's been hovering around federal funds isn't something we're immune to, but we're looking at it closely. And HUD is who ultimately funds through that source. So we're paying attention to those things to see how we can take those dollars and use them wisely and effectively. And then we're looking at, we have such a great corporate and church participation in our region, and both have invested in our mission for those 38 years and continue to do so. So we've been heavy there. Our restores, which are our thrift stores, our home good thrift stores, so also help to bring in revenue to go into our missions. We have 4 of those stores, which are very much all things home goods, doors, windows, sinks, cabinets, furniture, appliances, all for resale. And that sale of those goods help to go right back into our mission. So it's a yes and to all things in terms of because what we do is expensive.
Yeah.
Land, construction costs have gone up tremendously, and that's out of our control. All of our homes, when they are completed, are appraised at fair market rate, just like anybody's home who is sold. So we don't even control the ultimate price that is listed. And we've seen our appraisal prices as of last year, they've gone up an average around 200,000. So our homes are increasingly seeing their sales price go up, and that's where our mortgage and that's where that part of what we do helps to focus and keep the home affordable and for those who are going to buy with us.
Because otherwise, that value is going to affect the mortgage and go up if that mortgage came from pretty much anybody else.
That's correct. Yeah, and as we all know, rates are higher than when we had the 3 and 3.5%, and so that's while they're normalized, they're still much higher, and so the increasing sales price and the increase in interest rates make it much more difficult for that first-time home buyer in our region. And you had asked earlier, what else is happening across our other habitats? Well, they've seen those sale prices go up. We've seen Habitat for Humanity sales prices in other markets well above $500,000 for that first-time home in some of these markets. So that seems like, and we usually, when we say these prices, the response is, well, that's not affordable. And we've seen some of our appraisal prices reach $300,000 to $350,000 in some neighborhoods because it's still location that drives these. So our mortgage is that sweet spot of the ability to keep things affordable.
In addition to soliciting people that you want to help, on your website, you also are soliciting people who you are asking to help others, volunteers, donations. That, I asked you that question before to lay out all of the different areas where you rely on help from people from NCAA to a neighborhood church. If you're anywhere of those and in between, where do you start with saying, hey, I've got a group of people or I've got a bucket of money here, we want to help?
We'll definitely take your bucket of money.
Yes.
So, and we'll put it to good use. We'll put it into our mission and make it work. But if you are interested in that, whether it's you individually, you can come to our website and figure out how you can jump in and participate with us. Or if you just you mentioned small group, your church, your company, we have such a tremendous outpouring of the desire to volunteer. And our work is incredibly tangible. You get to help build, and you don't have to have any skill. You can walk in, never had raised, a hammer, never have done any of that work. And the fantastic part of this is when you walk away, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. We've got people on site. We have a group of individuals called our Tiger Team, which is primarily a retired group of individuals, of men and women who are kind of there as the coach to show you exactly what to do. It's safe and it's exciting and fun. We want you to leave tired and inspired at the end of the day, and you will. You get to be right there walking alongside the home buyer. So that's where that loving neighbor comes into effect, and there are those opportunities throughout the year that we see an outpouring from every walk of life, and every institution can come and be a part through the work that we do together.
Well, there's also if you want to volunteer, there is an email that I have to give out here. It's is that Hostetter? Stop. How do you say it?
It's Hochstetter.
Really?
Yeah.
I should have put this on the screen for everybody.
Yeah.
AH. It's on the website?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull that up on the website.
Yeah, so definitely go to the website and hit that up there.
Let me try and pull that up so everybody can see exactly.
Yeah, when you hit the volunteer, and how that can take you through to understanding the different aspects and ways you can get involved.
Okay, let me pull that up real quick so everybody can see, because let's see. Let's go to front page and I saw it somewhere. I saw it.
Right to the top there.
To the top. Yeah. Volunteer. There it is. There it is. And the email right there. Click to email us. Now let's see what happens if I do this. So it's going to pull up the email thing.
Yeah.
But there it is. That's where you click it. That's where you find it. Never mind this. Well, it's going to open anyway. Never mind.
It's okay.
But it's there. So basically, here's what you want to do. You want to go to this website. You want to make sure you click on one. If you are wanting to become a homeowner, click right there, the nice green button. Or you can scroll down and the menu then pops up to where you can become a homeowner. You can donate or you can volunteer. So, all of that information is right there when you click whichever one you want to donate. And of course, if you want to donate, very easy to do so right there. I'm okay. I would assume you're okay if people donate every day, every month.
We'll take every day. Yeah. And we try to make it extremely transparent how your donation is investing into future households through the mission that we do. And so a lot on the website is also showing you our impact and how our work happens. We talked about that homebuyer education. We've actually seen 220 households pay off their mortgage during the time that we've been in 38 years. So you're at a place now because of our earlier buyers are now paying off and they fully own that home outright and both can have that as their own asset to build their wealth as a family and or to pass it down to future generations.
Jim, we've got just a couple of seconds left. What else do people need to know about Indy Habitat for Humanity?
Well, I think sometimes we've talked about it, but I think sometimes the misperception is we give the homes away. We've made that clear that that's not true. They're purchasing their first home and they're paying the mortgage. They're still going to be paying taxes and insurance. And in our case, the mortgage is just interest free. So that helps to provide that hand up in that case. And I think I'd be remiss without saying that, President Carter, who passed recently, was an incredible volunteer, really our most notable volunteer for so long. Many think that he founded the organization. That isn't true, but he definitely brought it to a worldwide stage. And we are in 70 countries worldwide, and we're in all 50 states in the United States and throughout Indiana. And so there are 40 different Habitat affiliates working across Indiana to bring affordable home ownership to our fellow Hoosiers. So it's work that you can get involved in, share with your family to get involved in. There are many ways for you to make a real big difference in the lives of people. And
parts of at least some of these homes have been right here in our back parking lot here at FOX59 over the years. We got a little clip here of one of the houses being built with a bunch of volunteers, and there's Sherman and a bunch of our staff here at the station who have helped contribute over the years to build homes for people here in Indianapolis. So I don't know. I don't know what the plans are with you guys and management, but are we building anything in the back with these 10 homes?
We have those are known as panel builds, and so we essentially assemble the walls, and you get to come out and volunteer. And FOX59 has been a tremendous partner that way, and we've used the parking lot for several years now to do just that. Volunteers can come alongside and put together the wall panels, which then are taken out to the job site and raised to become a future home. So we see that's been a great partnership that we've benefited from and look forward to continue to do so.
Well, Jim, we, on behalf of the staff, we want to thank you for doing that in September and not in July, where it's super duper hot. But we'll definitely, I know the emails be going out soon, asking folks to come out and volunteer. And I think I'll be out there for this one. Jim, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
IndyHabitat.org is where you need to go for all things Habitat for Humanity in Greater Indianapolis. More of Fox 59 Tonight is coming up. We'll be right back.